Hey guys, this is Bumblebee 85 coming at you again with another video. This time it's post TFcon. I was at TFcon all day today, and this is my haul from TFcon. And I normally walk away with more Marvel Legends than anything at conventions now, but I ended up getting quite a few Transformers this year. I was able to pick up Power Master, Optimus Prime, and Crash Bash and Terrible at the local Toys R Us here in St. Catharines on my way up to TFcon in Mississauga. So I picked them up before the con, but I'm going to count them as part of my haul anyway. And then I was the parts rooms on the Friday night where we were just going around from different rooms. People were selling items. And I was able to pick up a Brainstorm, which never hit our area. So I picked him up for $12. And he's complete, other than instructions and stuff. So I really like his design. Simple, but really nice. He does have a little scuff on his chin. But other than that, I think he looks really nice. And also, going from room to room, I was able to pick up a G2 Bumblebee. I used to own this one as a child, so I picked him up for $10. He's pretty shiny, so his tires aren't cracked or anything, so I was happy that I found that. Then one of the biggest surprises for me, I was hanging out in the Quest bar there at the Meadowvale Hotel Hilton, and just mingling, chatting with people, and we got to talking of items that we were looking for. And I told him I was looking for a Legend Shockwave because he, again, like Brainstorm, hadn't hit in our area, or if he did, I missed him. I wasn't able to pick him up. So he said, "Could you excuse me for 5 minutes?" I was like, "Sure." So he ran up to his room and came down and gave me this for no cost. I bought him a beer, and his name was Dakun DX on Twitter, DKUNDX. He was wearing a sheep costume all night. I just followed on Twitter, so I just gave him a shout out and a thanks on Twitter there. So that was, you don't normally, you hear those kinds of stories for other people, but when it happens to you, I felt very honored, and I enjoy. I thanked him 1,000 times over because I was not expecting anything like that. So now I have a Legend Shockwave thanks to him. Like I said, I picked those up at Toys R Us. I ended up grabbing a Chop Shop for $15. Hadn't found him anywhere in the stores yet either. And I ended up grabbing this IDW issue 1 Transformers Till All Are One variant cover from I guess the podcast Transmissions podcast here put this together. They worked with IDW to get this variant cover. There's some information from them. This was $10 issue. So check their podcast out. It's all about Transformers and stuff. So, and all the artists and stuff were even at TFcon. So you were able to get it signed if you wanted. But I was never able to get around to doing that. But nice little variant cover there. And I picked up Dino, or whatever you call. It's the repaint of Sideways, I believe. Revenge of the Fallen or something. The mold, the Audi R8 mold. So that's a nice. And it says 60, but the table was leaving. They were only there for the Saturday, and I was there right to the end. So everything on their table became half off. So I got them for $30. So minus any import fees, I found that pretty good deal. And then my most expensive item that I had purchased is a Marvel Legend. It was Spider-Gwen. 2 people had them there. Both were selling them for $50, so I had to break down and pay the $50 for a Spider-Gwen. Now, these are Canadian prices, so That's not too bad. So now I have the entire wave, and I'll be doing a review of Absorbing Man and all the figures it takes to build a figure Absorbing Man. So that's just my TFcon, and I did record some of the panels, so I'm going to attach it to the end of this video. Probably have to put out a couple videos because each video is about 40 minutes, so stay tuned to those. I have the Frank Welker panel, so that was a big mission of mine to capture that and get it out to you guys. So this is Bumblebee 85 saying enjoy the play and enjoy TFcon, because I did.
Excellent, and you will be allowed to read your questions to Mr. Welker himself. And as people who met him saw, you know, he makes eye contact, he smiles, it's fantastic. So, Ian, are you ready? What does that mean? I guess that means yes. 1 minute. Oh, we are setting things up so that you will be comfortable while he speaks to you, as we all want to be. I'll remind you of that. Well, we'll remove Abraham Lincoln's statue and toss it aside, and he'll sit up. Maybe not 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. I stood there going, is the statue really normal? Here we go.
Frank is one of the greatest voice actors of all time. I call him the King.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we are in this room for one man. This man is a legend. This man, everyone knows who he is. He is one of the most fearsome Transformers of all time. Truly needing no introduction. That Transformer being Wheelie. No, let's be honest here. He's Scooter from GoBots. But seriously though, Mr. Welker is a Hollywood voice god. He has done so many voices. We are here today for Megatron and tons of other Transformers. I'm not going to go through them all. You know how it is. So I want everyone to get up on their feet and give Frank Welker a round of applause.
First, let me say thank you to you guys. Toronto is awesome. You people are fantastic, and I've been so happy and welcomed at these cons. But today, when we were doing the signings, not one person didn't come by without saying, "Frank, thank you for coming. Wow, thank you for letting me come. Thank you so much." Very, very nice people.
Thank you. Now, before we're going to sit down and start with our questions that have been pre-submitted, I just have to do one quick piece of housekeeping. Our Make-A-Wish auction has raised over $11,000. Yeah! after this panel so you can finish your bidding at 6 p.m. Thank you. Okay.
Excellent. Yes, of course. But not here. Oh, yes, of course. I was looking for that big cushion.
Yeah.
Comfy.
Okay.
See? Yes.
So, Frank, everyone is here because they love GoBots.
Well,
Okay, so why don't we get right to the questions? I'm just going to get them out of my pocket here. The first person who submitted a trio of questions, there is a miso. Is there a miso present? Okay, miso, come on up. Come on up to the mic. Okay, so the ones with X's next to them, those are the ones that have been selected. So go ahead and ask.
Okay. Hey, Frank.
hey, how you doing?
Great. So, when you were told the Megatron character would not continue after Transformers the movie, at that time were you also aware that you would actually be voicing the new leader, Galvatron, after the movie?
Not really immediately. First of all, both Peter and I were a little shocked that we were saying, so after recovering from that, we still had sessions to do from the show. And when Galvatron was introduced to the show, Wally Burr said, Frank, we'd like you to try and get, close to Leonard Nimoy, do a little something if you want, but try and kind of capture what he was doing in the feature. So I did, and they went with what I had, and we kind of played with it a little bit, but mostly I was trying to do Leonard Nimoy. But I didn't know, at the end of the picture, it happened once we went back to working on G1 stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and then, I guess, you've answered part of that. How was the transition for you from voicing Megatron to
I
Galvatron?
answered 2 questions, and I thought it was 1! You know me, I'm sorry.
Third question.
No. You gotta get half of that question at least.
Okay.
Second question.
So how was the transition for you from going from Megatron to going to Galvatron, especially considering Galvatron was insane in season 3?
Yeah.
How was that transition for you?
Well, actually, yeah, because now, like in the features, Galvatron is like really out there, and Megatron from the G1 was pretty much out there, as you were saying, in those segments. But Galvatron was more of a kind of an easier voice to do in the sense that there wasn't a lot of power to it, and so the transition really not that big a deal, honestly. I mean, like right now, the transitions are fun. For example, it's a fun challenge I come to a convention and people really want to hear G1. So I do Megatron. I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. All hail Megatron! Look out, Donald Trump! Then, transitioning into Transformers Prime, we wanted to change, and then the characters are now computer generated, so there's a lot of difference and a lot of subtleties in the mouse. So then we started getting into the sky. Megatron into the Megatron. I am Megatron, still leader of the Decepticons. Into Galvatron. I am Galvatron, and I am also leader of the Decepticons. I'm just showing off.
By the way, thank you so much for your season 3 Galvatron voice. That really sold me. I didn't like Galvatron at the beginning because he wasn't Megatron, like a lot of people missing Megatron. I don't like his replacement for Galvatron. Like, he brought so much life and so much. It wasn't just one thing, he was that guy, but it brought so much intrigue and interest in the character. Eventually became my favorite character, and I just want to say thank you so much for that.
Cool. Thank you.
And so, third question. It is actually.
I will get the hook.
Wait a second. Yeah, all right, third question.
It's up to 8.
Okay, last question. One of your longest playing characters, actually we just discussed this before, your longest role that you've been playing all these years is in animations Freddy from Scooby-Doo. Now, out of all your prominent Transformers voices you did, if you take all of them, the one that sounded the most closest to Freddy was Galvatron. Well, I want to know, did you design that on purpose?
It's a little freaky, isn't it? Galvatron sounds like Fred from Scooby-Doo. Well, actually, because it was more of a natural voice and trying to get closer to Leonard, when I went to my voice, which is basically Fred, and it's a terrible thing, it's disgusting. My real voice is pretty much Freddy. So, again, I guess you'd have to say that DNA is there, so really, they all just kind of mix together. But yeah, I could see where that would be the case. Right? Would you do it for a Scooby set?
I don't think so.
Well, your real voice is Freddy, and your real voice is wonderful, and long live Galvatron.
You say that it's Fred. Freddy, that's close to your real voice. All I've been hearing all day is Ray from Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's all I've been hearing.
Well, you're absolutely right. Ray, Fred, Galvatron. There's some serious DNA happening there, yeah.
Sounds like a fun party.
Right, yeah.
Okay, the next question is from a Ken Baumgartner. All right, I'm sorry. Baumgartner? Baumgartner?
Baumgartner.
Okay, all right. So your question here. Just the first one. First one. Yep.
Okay. If there was a Mount Rushmore for voice actors, without a doubt, it would feature yourself, Mel Blanc, and June Foray. But who do you think would be that fourth head on the mountain?
Peter Coleman. Very, very, very nice of you to say. But actually, I would probably, I would have to go with that. I was going to try and be very diplomatic and very nice, but in all sincerity, there's a wonderful, 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 wonderful voice personality that we don't have anymore, Dawes Butler, who created so many incredible, incredible voices. And I feel like I'm a student of his, so I would have to say, Dawes, why don't you go up there in my place? But thank you all. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right. So the
Can
next.
you imagine that, though?
What's that?
Some folks are coming up, they're driving all the way from San Francisco. I can't wait to see the mountain. How about you here? Yeah, George Washington and Lincoln and... We'll be so frank.
It'd be worse if they put my face on it.
No, they do great things with glasses.
Okay. I also told Frank earlier if he didn't say Peter Cullen, the crowd might riot. Okay.
Also, I'm going to tell you, for those of you who were at the photos signings and things, you remember Ian there at the table, who did a fabulous job, like gray, black, blue, gold, brown, gold, no, gold, brown. Good choices, everybody. Thank you.
I know my colors. All right, next up, Jonathan Boedo. All right. So, Jonathan, we've got these two questions with the X next to them.
So those are the ones
Correct. Those two.
The ones about the cooking, the car, and the girls. No. I'm not gonna go into that tonight. You know, it's just it was a quick thing happened. I was a little disappointed in myself. Actually, yeah.
So, Neeson kind of covered this a little bit, but when you started developing the voice of Galvatron for season 3, do you recall at what point it was decided to make him insane, and how did you decide to differentiate him from Megatron? What did you add to the character to change it up there?
You know, I think it just the intensity and trying to just buzz, you know, just use the buzz of the intensity and try and get the voice up and a few octaves, you know, whenever you get at that crazy, it kind of gets into the high things, like even with Megatron and the, you know, I am Megatron. Okay, I'll take out the trash.
Yeah, so leading to my next question, I gotta say the first time I found out that Megatron's voice is actually produced by human larynx, I was just floored. I just assumed it was like a computer or something, just like, and even when you were doing it in front of us right now, I thought, you know, somebody was gonna come out of a curtain or something. It's uncanny. Leading into that, so iconic and unprecedented in terms of its startlingly alien quality, right? Were there any other characters or actors that
Took me to the parties, he took me to the places to see where jazz and music was happening, and then I worked with a group called Brazil 66, Sergio Mendes, and their group taught me to drink just a little bit of brandy before you go on stage to clear the pipes. I'm 22 years old and brandy doesn't sound so bad. You know, you should wear makeup. Okay, waiter! But they were, you know, so they were friends in show business and they were teaching me things. And the reason to wear makeup is because we're playing huge coliseums and auditoriums, and they say your face is so expressive, you need people to see you. So in the early days, it was these musicians that were teaching me secrets and things, and also about how to use the microphone with drums and all that kind of stuff. And then when I started getting into voices, as I said, I worked with Don Messick, the great Don Messick, Dawes Butler, Mel Blanc. Just, you know, those are some of the older folks. And then just my fellow actors, you know, are also inspiration and mentors. Thank you so much.
Hi, Frank.
You are?
I'm Cooper.
I wanted to hear you say it. Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. Look at that hat.
I know. Got the rainbow thing going.
Okay, my question is, what's the most challenging monster or animal voice you've ever had to come up with?
Ooh. There's been a lot of challenges. Can I tell you two?
Yep.
He asked him what? I know, but I had half a question. He didn't, so I have half a question to go up and apply it towards this.
I'll allow it.
Okay, it's allowed.
You're deviating.
Okay, I'm deviating. It was actually one of the easiest, but it was one of the goofiest. And I'm trying to think of the picture. It was a long time ago. I think it may have been like my science project or something. I don't know. But there was a mouse
that was underwater and was supposed to have a helmet on. And they said, we want the mouse to evoke and act and so on. And he's on the screen drowning, obviously. But, so they had this little helmet on. They said, can you come up with some kind of sound for the mouse underwater? And I thought, well, there's a challenge. Bizarre request. I just wanted to share it with you just so that you know some of the stuff they asked us to do. But the most difficult and also a lot of fun was in Species. Do you remember what was her name in there?
Natasha Henstridge. Syl.
And Syl was actually a beautiful model from New York who comes down from space, and her job is to mate with the most eligible male human to interject the species from outer space into the human male. And it was very disgusting. But on the train there were these big eggs that were hanging there, and they had to have the sounds. Which was a lot of fun. And then, you know, they hatch and they come out, but she's now around, and there was a scene that we worked on, and the director was great. When she, after she's mated with the male, then the way she disposes of the male is to stick her tongue through the back of his neck. You know, so they've been kissing, and she's gorgeous, and all of a sudden you hear, and he says, Frank, we need a sound. I won't do that for you. But there was, and then she goes on, and the way that they dispose of her is she's burned alive, and with her babies, she does a baby. So I had to do all of that screaming as a female creature from outer space. That was tough. I prefer the Barry White voice. But,
thank you.
Yes. And in that screaming, though, there was a kind of a little tip I'll give you, is using some different sounds that weren't quite so painful. And they take that and layer it over. I can't do it. It's
Hello, sir. I'm not sure how I got up here, but I'm so happy to see you.
I can say the same. No idea what I'm doing.
Apparently, my question is as follows. There have been numerous revivals of many properties you worked on in the beginning, such as Transformers, Scooby-Doo, Ghostbusters. How has it felt to see new life come into these brands again?
Excellent question. You wrote that, didn't you?
The answer is yes.
The answer is you know, it's amazing to see all of these, so many of these former shows coming back now as features. And there was even, I heard a couple years back, a Scooby-Doo play that was all across the UK. I think that they actually toured with a Scooby-Doo group on stage, which I'd love to see that, you know. But so the fact that that show has gone from movies to games to, you know, it just goes on and on. But it's actually never gone away. The other shows that have kind of disappeared and come back, it's remarkable and really nice for those of us who worked a lot in the earlier days to see the stuff come back and give us an opportunity to perform, you know. And to see what kind of new life these shows can take and where they're going to go with them and how the fans react. Once again, I want to thank all of you who supported me over the years as Megatron. You don't know what a great difference you've made, and I appreciate it very, very much.
I don't know how I got up there either, as you could obviously tell from my reaction earlier. I wasn't even informed of this, but okay. So my question is, what is it being like to see the animation and voiceover industry change over the last 50 years, and where do you think it's going?
Well, the CGI stuff, I think the example that I can see most apparently is the CGI that we did in Transformers Prime. In that format, the subtleties of the mouth movement, now you can start to see real words happening where, you know, in animation, in the flat animation that we did in G1 or any of the old shows, we'd come back and loop for things that they wanted to change. Like if you couldn't say Tide detergent, obviously, you know, then you'd come back and they, instead of Frank Welker or Megatron saying, Tide detergent, get him! You know, it just was so easy because everything fit, you know, so in doing looping sessions, it was a breeze, you know, I'm out of here. But now, when you do get into the subtleties of CGI, performance-wise, now you can really take more time. And when you're in these scenes, dialogue becomes really important. You know, in G1, everything works, but it was a pretty high level, and a lot of action, a lot of things going on the full time. Now, in the newer CGI stuff, you can slow that all down and really get some evil juices. I will take my time. When I want, I will destroy you. Where before, I will take my time to destroy you. So I mean, I really think that that's kind of a nice thing for acting. It's a nice place to go. Plus the color and the places you can go now with this. And I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me, but what Disney did with the Jungle Book, I mean, that is just phenomenal. You know, it just looks so real. And I don't know what kind of technology that is, if that's a CGI combination of things, but it's where it's going, I think, is probably that direction. And I think for voices, it's just only better for us. And I don't know why you're up here, but I'm glad you came.
Okay, so with that, our time is drawing to a close. That was a good question to end on. From the bottom of my heart, and every single one of these people here, thank you for your contributions to not only Transformers, but every piece of media you've been involved with. You have shaped numerous childhoods, and you continue to entertain us to this day. Thank you. We appreciate you. I want you to give Frank Welker a standing ovation.
Thank you all so much. I love you guys.